Hey, this is Adam Ouellette, longtime attorney, trainer, coach, author, speaker. Glad you're here because I know what it feels like to hate the law. Casey Berman, the founder of Leave Law Behind and one of my best friends and partners in business, knows what it's like too. And this is one of the reasons why we're bringing you this video and this post, this article, so we can assist you on your path. It's a difficult path to be an attorney and really not like what you do, even hate it. I did a bunch of articles years ago on why the law sucks. Lawyers didn't like my message around the word sucks, but you'll see the logo in this video. But it does suck. And part of the problem is that we don't research. We didn't research, and law students don't research. We don't know what we're getting into before we get into it. And so I've done videos that tell people that are considering law school, don't do it unless you really understand what you're going to be doing all day, every day. I had a buddy in law school who worked for a lawyer for 12 years before he went to law school. He knew exactly what he was getting into. He likes being a lawyer. He's very good at it. We're 23 years in, he and I, of being licensed, and he's still practicing. More power to him. There's plenty of people that should be lawyers. A lot of us shouldn't. So, who are we? As I've alluded to before, my name is Adam, and I was a lawyer for 20 years, licensed for 23. I did litigation. I did transactional work. I did thousands and thousands of real estate closings. I love the business aspects of being a lawyer. Didn't like what I did all day, every day. Casey Berman, founder and my partner in Leave Law Behind, has been helping lawyers leave the law for 12 years. There's nobody on this planet that knows how to help lawyers leave the law better than him. There's other people out there trying to do this work, but I can tell you we have the key that unlocks your prison cell. All right, so that's a little bit about us. You're here because you don't like or even hate practicing law. We did as well. And ultimately, there's some simple, really simple reasons why you don't like practicing law. Here's a few of them that have nothing to do with the stress and overwhelm, which is a big piece, right? I have a course called Stress Less. Link below. Check out that information. I learned how to look at stress differently because stress is an inside job. Enough about that. The most usual suspects for most people in terms of not really liking or hating the law. You're not appreciated by your superiors or clients. I'm not going to get into these too deeply because they speak for themselves. Progress is going very slow in your career. And of course, progress would go slow in your career if you don't like what you're doing. You can get into a career that you like or love and move forward in a rapid fashion in most instances if you really enjoy what you're doing. It depends on the business you go to work for and the like. But another problem we deal with is problems, other people's problems, all day, every day. That really got me down for so many years. People were only coming to me with their problems. I had my own problems I needed to deal with. Do I want to deal with other people's problems all day long? I didn't really want to. You're a workhorse. You get the work piled on you, especially if you're an associate and you have superiors that are in charge of giving you work. They just pile it on. And the numbers I've heard from people that are associates in law firms in terms of the actual hours they're supposed to spend, they're required to spend working, blows my mind. And one of my biggest issues with the law was there was no creativity, very little to none. And I always have people will say, well, there's some creativity in law. Yeah, bull. There isn't. I'm a litigator. Oh, please. There's really no creativity. So it doesn't spark that right brain part of us. Being on call 24/7, 365. It feels that way, and in many instances it is. But let me get to the biggest issue here. After speaking with a couple hundred people over the years from Leave Law Behind, customers, prospects, all the like. It's probably up to 300 now, but not keeping track. Lots of people. The biggest issue that we have that creates a situation where we hate the practice of law is you don't like the work you do all day long. Stick with me here. I want to walk you through something that I've done on lots of these consultations for prospects that we talk to around leaving the law. All right? Stick with me. This is really a great piece here that I don't want you to miss. This is why the law sucks. These are all reasons why the law sucks, and you may have your own. But once you face the reality that you don't like the work and all the other stuff that causes us so much stress and strain, you can explore a new career. Leaving is not as hard as you might think, or as difficult as you might think it is, or you will make it. It's not that hard. We give you everything you need in our course and community. The bottom line is this. You ready? You don't like the work. You're probably not all that good at it. I wasn't very good at the practice of law. I was very good at the business aspects, but I wasn't very good at the practice of law. But here's what I wanted you to stick with me on. How much of your days and weeks and months and years are you really working on stuff you like? How much? I'm giving you a few seconds here. 0 to 100%. How much? Interesting, huh? The number I normally get from lawyers is 20%. There were a few people that told me, I don't like any of it. And I'm like, holy moly, you're not in a good spot. Every once in a while I get somebody that tells me 50%. And when I go through the work that they're doing and coach them, they realize, yeah, I'm about at 20, 30%. This is the problem. If you're not at 70 or 80% number in terms of liking what you do, you need to leave. That's the key. If you're not at 70 or 80%, let me say it again, you need to leave. You're never going to get that up to a 70 or 80% in the law because it's stuff you don't like and you're not aligned with. This is the beauty of what we do. Is we help you find jobs that align with your skills and strengths, what you're good at, and a job you could absolutely love or like, right? We've coached over 500 people. I think it's probably double that now. But as I said, I don't keep track of these numbers, but it's always that same main issue. Always don't like the work. I'm reiterating this because I want to hammer it into your head. We don't do that research like I talked about before, but there were a few people that did the research or sadly came from families. They already knew what they were getting into, but they still did it anyways. But let me talk about a guy who I did speak with who is a participant in our course and has now left the law. He was in college and had a couple family friends that were lawyers and basically went and talked to them and did the research. But as I said to him then, because he was saying, I hate this shit. I said to him then, you didn't know what you were wanting to do or would be good at when you're 20, 21 years old. That's when we're supposed to make the decision on, okay, what's after college, right? If anything, or you go get a job. So it's always that same issue. In my book, Raising the Bar, I discuss reasons why we go to law school and become lawyers. There's many, many reasons why we decide to go. And most of them aren't very well founded because we don't do this research. The true question I have, what is there to like about the practice of law for most of us? There isn't much, And you can't go from litigation to transactional or vice versa and be happy. People think this. They'll tell me on calls, well, I'm a litigator and I think I'm going to go into transactional work. And I've heard both sides of it many, many times. And I've actually spoken to a handful of people that thought that this was the grass is greener on the other side. I can speak to this because I did both, right? And when people will say that to me, well, I think I'm going to go over to the transactional side because litigation is awful. Yeah, well, you know what? Transactional isn't all that great either. And it's very much paper pushing. That's what we are. We're paper pushers, sadly. And it's the same stuff on either side. It's just that one goes to court and has to deal with judges and the other isn't. So when you think about what you do as a paper pusher, one of my good friends years ago, he was a Broward Sheriff's officer down in Fort Lauderdale. And he said, lawyers are just paper pushers. And I looked at him and I had never heard that before. And I'm like, shit, this guy's right. I said, you're right. It's why it's so boring. That's why most of us don't like the work. Now, I've met plenty of lawyers that do enjoy what they do. They do, and it's okay, but you're not one of them. Let's talk about briefly hiring managers and the worry that comes up for attorneys around hiring managers. And it's really not a big deal. And I've coached lots of people on this, and they always come back to me and they say, those answers you gave me, around hiring managers, I came from my heart, as I always tell people to do when they do an interview. When you come from your heart and you answer these two questions in a logical, easy way, keep with me here. I'm going to give you free info. This is good stuff. So when you find that dream job and you're out there in front of hiring managers and they pose this question to you, you have a great resume, but there's some stuff you don't have experience with that other people that are applying for this job have experience in. You ready for the answer? Well, first, let me tell you a little bit of a background on this question. You will realize when you get into our course and you really start to work it and you figure out what Casey calls your unique genius and your skills and strengths, and you build this list of stuff, and then you're able to take it and match it up with these 300 jobs and narrow it down to 2 or 3 or 5 jobs, and then you'll research them. We're going to talk more about that in a minute or two. The fact of the matter is that your resume can be better than most people applying for that job because we have so much that we can bring out into the non-law world. We don't realize that. We think we're limited. We're stuck because we're just an attorney. That's all bullshit, okay? It's all crap. So here's the answer to this question. You say, yeah, there may be a couple things, but my resume speaks for itself. And the fact that I was a lawyer and I had to learn ridiculous amounts of information in law school and beyond for the bar and all that, and when I got out into the practice, I had to figure out how to be a lawyer. We don't learn that in law school for the most part. And you say, I can learn things rapidly and easily and very quickly. And there's a multitude of stories I'm not going to get into here because I want to get you this basic information to help you. But I have a multitude of stories of people that have used this and got the job. They got the job. So that's an easy way to get past that question. And then they might ask you, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving being a lawyer? Because there is this preconceived notion that we have it great and that this profession is fun and it's exciting and there's lots of money to be made and this, that, and the other. And those are all myths, right? Talk about that in my book, Raising the Bar. They're all myths. It's not fun. It's not exciting. You can make a decent living, but my God, you got to work really hard. There's an answer to this question as well. You say, look, I'm just not happy being a lawyer. I didn't do the research like I did for this job. And I know now that my skills and strengths are so suited to the job I'm applying for because I had these coaches and consultants, that would be us, that helped me figure this out. And I did research this job. And guess what? I'm a great fit here. There's the answers. I'm not even going to make you wait to get into the course and be a member of the course. There's the answers. These are freaking really good answers to those questions. So, as I said before, I've taught this to others. Plenty of people have used this, and those answers shut these hiring managers up quickly, and they become very impressed with you. Now, I don't want you to lie. I want you to come from your heart and only speak the truth. So if those answers don't align with your truth, then you aren't in our course because you will have the ability to speak from your heart with those answers if you have followed what we ask you to do in our course. So you got lots of options. That's the key. We don't think we do. We think we're stuck. There's 300 jobs that all align with these 21 top non-law job buckets, as I like to call them. 300 different jobs out there that you could explore. That sounds like a lot of work, but there's not, because once you find a couple buckets that you align with in Module 4 and 5 in our course, you'll know what they are, and you'll be able to pick through them. And guess what as well? You'll be able to jump on a live training with Casey. We do at least one a month, and you'll be able to ask him, I found this in my unique genius. What should I be looking for? Or where am I missing something? It's all there for you. So you want to know how to get started? There is an opportunity to get some free training, a coaching and resource page to find out where to begin on this page. We want to help you. And we created a resource page that's going to answer all of your questions. If you don't like the work you do as a lawyer, then you need to find out more. There's nobody that has what we're doing out there. Nobody. And this resource page took me hundreds and hundreds of hours of calls and, understanding where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from because I was you. But I have consulted with tons of lawyers on consultation calls where they had questions and I had the answers. But that resource page can answer 99% of your questions. And if they don't, my cell phone's there for you. All right. So it's a great time to look for a new career. COVID has shown us that lots of people are unhappy in their careers and it's time to get happy. So please join me. It's a great time to be looking for a job because lots of people are switching jobs. And here's the other thing I want you to understand about what COVID has done for us. Doesn't seem like it's done much for us, but it has. There's been a purge of workers from every arena because most people, when they go into a career from college, they don't understand what it takes to find something that they could actually like or love. So lots of people in the same situation and position that you're in, unique, that we know lawyers better than anyone. But it's a great time to look for a new career because there's lots of openings. There's lots of jobs, and there will continue to be in that list of 300 jobs that we have in the course. So if people in every kind of profession have the courage to do it, why can't you? Especially now that you know that your skills and strengths align with 300 different jobs. But here's the other cool thing, I guess I could say cool, around what's happened over the past few years, because it's a great thing for people in your position. You can work from home and apply for jobs all over the country, even the world if you wanted to. I mean, you're going to have to probably work on their time zone, but you can open up to the fact that there's jobs available all over the country that you could apply for. The work from home thing isn't going to leave us. Yes, there's some companies that are going back to the office, but it's all negotiable, right? Everything's negotiable. So let's talk briefly about other fears and issues that come up for the typical attorney. And I guess, you need to sign up for this information that we're providing to you because it's all there. So one of the big ones is I can't make money out of the law. Myth. These are all myths. We find through the people that use our program and connect the jobs and the strengths and all of that, that you can make more money out of the law, especially as you go. You can, apply for jobs where you're going to be making as much as you make now. There's no reason why you can't do that. But with stock options and all the things that happen in the corporate world that really don't happen that often in the legal world, you can make as much or more out of the law. It's all about your research and what you find as you go through our program. And then, all I can do is be a lawyer. That's not the case now. I've already talked a little bit about that, and in that resource page I go much more deeply into this. There's an actual video just on that idea. So get signed up. We want to help you find the answers to your questions, to your fears, to any blockers you've got. I guarantee you that 99% of your questions will be answered on that page. It's that good. So don't wait. The longer you wait, you postpone the possibilities that are there for you right now with all kinds of different careers. And when you narrow those careers down to 2, and you do the research that we teach you how to do on those careers, you can realize where you went wrong when you applied for law school. And it's never wrong, I say, because it's part of your path. And having a law degree and having the ability to then take what you've learned and know, skills and strengths and everything you've built that goes into your resume, you'll be surprised, very pleasantly surprised when you get to that point in our course in modules 4 and 5. You're going to look at that list that we help you build and you say, oh my God, I never knew that I had this much in my arsenal. And then when you put that resume together, you'll be happy and excited to get out there and apply for that job you're looking for. So my best to you. Thank you for joining me here. I appreciate you. I appreciate how much pain you're in. And it's up to you now to have some courage and say yes to yourself. And we're here to hold your hand all the way through with videos and help that we're offering to you for free. Be well, take care, and stay safe.